Good morning, class 9 children. Welcome back. Today is Wednesday, and as per your new routine, we have English paper 2 or English literature to continue. I hope you all are safe and fine at home and also carrying on with your regular studies given through online classes by all the subject teachers. Carry on with your homeworks, assignments, and revision of all those taught chapters seriously. I do also appeal you all children to view all those posted videos so that uh, you can timely carry on with your studies, because I often say when the school gets reopened, perhaps we'll be limited with our times, so that would be very difficult for us to complete the entire syllabus that you have for class 9. That's why whatever chapters are dealt through online classes, they are first and last. That's why uh, keep viewing those uploaded videos and also uh, carry on with the revisions of those taught chapters, right? So let us come back to see our textbook Treasure Trove, which is a collection of poems and short stories. In our last class, if we remember, we had completed a story, Hearts and Hands, written by one of the famous uh, short story writers of the world, O. Henry. Hope you enjoyed the story. And the notes on the chapter were also provided to you. Uh, Write them down in your short story exercise note. Some questions were also given for you to do as homework. Uh, Carry on with those questions. So today, let us come back to see uh, the poetry section. We have finished two of the poems. If we see the contents, those two finished poems are Daffodils and The Coal Within. Today we'll see the third poem in this online class. To tell you, today's poem is a very beautiful poem written by the Indian poet, and to make you aware, the council has a norm that Indian authors and Indian poets are given due respect. So, keeping this in our mind, the poems written by the Indian authors, the Indian poets, and the stories written by the Indian authors become very, very important, right? That's why today's poem is not only beautiful but also important in its own sense, right? So pay full attention uh, when the lines are read and explained. And I also want you to be very careful regarding viewing all those taught chapters through online classes, because these chapters which are being uh, taught uh, are done at once, because uh, as I often say, after the school gets reopened, we perhaps will be left with very limited time so as to complete the remaining uh, portions we have in the syllabus. That's why whatever chapters we are explaining through online classes, take this as uh, first and final, right? So today's poem, The Bangle Sellers, written by Sarojini Naidu, is a beautiful poem. It discusses on the life of a woman in Indian society, right? So let's come back to the poem and see the introduction of the poet briefly, because the poem The Bangle Sellers, written by Sarojini Naidu, perhaps you might have read this in your earlier classes. So if you have read this, take this as a revision, and if you haven't, uh, pay full attention when the lines are read and explained for you. So to come back to Sarojini Naidu, uh, the great poet Sarojini Naidu was born on 13 February in the year 1879 in Hyderabad. She was actually a Bengali, Sarojini Chattopadhyay, the daughter of Agornath Chattopadhyay of West Bengal. But the family shifted to Hyderabad, where Sarojini Naidu was born and brought up out there. And later in her life, she got married to a man from Hyderabad, Dr. Govindarajalu Naidu. Thereafter, she began to be called Sarojini Naidu. Right? Sarojini Naidu was the first Indian woman to be the president of the Indian National Congress in the year 1925. She was also appointed as the state governor of Free India. So it is not only in the field of poetry that she was known for, she equally fought for the Indian struggle movement, right? And it was on 2nd March in the year 1949, just 2 years after India got her independence, she died in her office in Lucknow due to heart attack. Her birthday is uh, recognized as a Women's Day in Indian history, right? So this is about the life of Sarojini Naidu. In short, we have discussed about her. Now let us come to know about her poem, the Bangle Sellers, which is a very beautiful poem for us in this syllabus we have. The Bangle Sellers, written by Sarojini Naidu. The poem The Bangle Sellers is about exploring the life of Indian women, the Indian society and tradition revolving around women. Right? The poem The Bangle Sellers was published in her collection called the Bird of Time. From there, the poem has been taken in the syllabus, The Bird of Time. The narrator of the poem is a bangle seller, right, who talked to the poet Sarojini Naidu, and Sarojini Naidu writes about the bangle sellers, right? Now, first of all, what is bangle? The bangle is an important ornament for women in Indian society, right? And the bangle sellers are at the temple fair. They are there to sell their products. They are there to sell their bangles, right? Shouting out to the people passing by to have a look at their bangles and purchase, right? So this is the background of the poem where the bangle sellers do take place, right? Now what here the poet says about the lines in the poem, let us now carry on. The Bangle Sellers, written by Sarojini Naidu. Bangle sellers are we who bear our shining lords to the temple fair. Now, one of the bangle sellers speaks to the poetess, and the poetess is telling us. She says here that we are the bangle sellers. Right? Bangle sellers are we. That means we are bangle sellers who bear means who carry our shining lords, our glittering, our lustrous, or glimmering loads of bangles to the temple fair. Now, what is temple fair? Temple fair is a gathering of people and vendors for certain festivals where these people have come to worship gods and goddesses, and at the same time, in the open field in front of the temple, there are vendors who have exhibited their products in order to sell to these people who would like to buy them, right? So the bangle sellers told uh, the poetess Sarojini Naidu, we are bangle sellers who carry or signing loads of bangles to the temple fair. Who will buy this delicate bride, rainbow tinted colors of light? And there is a slogan, there is a shouting of trade. Who will buy this delicate? These bangles are called delicate because they are sensitive, they are soft, they are glass made bangles. They are lustrous, they are bright, they are beautifully colored. Rainbow tinted circles of light. Rainbow tinted colors means they are multicolored circular, right, bangles, right, which are just like the shining of the light, right? So they are beautiful multicolored bangles. They are rainbow colored bangles, right? Just like the rainbow has 7 colors, likewise these bangles are also many colors. Lustrous tokens of radiance light, right? So that means is a symbol of the love of people's life. These bangles are the symbols of the love of people's life, right? That they should be very happy. They should be radiant in their life. Radiant means happy, blissful. For happy daughters and happy wives, and these bangles are for the happy daughters and happy wives, right? So it locates the Indian society, the Indian tradition, that the daughters and the wives do like to wear bangles in their wrist, right, in order to decorate themselves and look beautiful, right? So this is the opening of the stanza in the poem The Bangle Sellers, right? So there are 4 stanzas in the poem. So hope the first stanza is understood. So we understood here that one of the bangle sellers, who is a narrator of the poem, is talking to the poetess Sarojini Naidu, who said, we are the bangle sellers and we carry heavy loads of bangles on our head or on our shoulders, and we go to the temple fair where there are the gatherings of the people who have come to worship gods and the goddesses, and there we are uh, with our loads of bangles to exhibit and shout out trade for the people to buy, right? They are delicate bangles, they are soft, they are sensitive, they are glass made bangles, right? They are shiny and they are multicolored bangles. And these bangles do symbolize uh, the love of the happy lives, right? And these are for happy daughters and for happy wives, right? Let us move on to the second stanza. Here the poetess talks about the kinds of bangles that they have, right? And who prefer what colors of bangles. Now see, some are meet for a maiden's wrist. So some are, what are these some? These some are bangles. Some bangles are meet. That means some bangles are suited. Some bangles are suitable, right, for a maiden's wrist. That means maiden, who are called maiden. The young unmarried girls are called maidens, right? So some bangles are for the young unmarried girls who are called maidens in the line, right? So some colors of bangles are only for the young unmarried girls, right? Because these colors do suit them, right? They are, see, silver and blue as the mountain mist. So these bangles are silver in color. These bangles are bluish in color, which are preferred by the maidens in the Indian society as the mountain mist, and they are so beautiful, like the thin fog of the mountain. Mist is the thin fog, right, that covers the foothills of the mountains, right? So just uh, see the mountain, right, and find out where there are the fogs covering the foothills of the mountain. It has its own beauty. It is a natural beauty of nature. Just like this natural beauty of nature is where the mountain is half covered at the foothills by the thin fog, some bangles are silver and blue, which are just beautiful like the mountain mist. So in this line, the poet has used a figure of speech which we call simile, right? Because simile is a figure of comparison where the two things are compared between one another, and there is a use of the word as or like. So when two figures are compared, when two things are compared between each other with the word as or like, we call it simile, right? So here you saw the simile used by the poetess because some bangles look like the beautiful mountain mist, right? So there are two things being talked, right? On one side bangles, the other side mountain mist, right? And these two things are compared to one another. And the beauty of the mountain and the beauty of the silver and blue color bangles, right, is same, right? There's no doubt. Which means that it talks about the maiden's freshness, right, and beauty of the maidens, right? So it talks about the maiden's freshness and beauty, just like this mountain mist looks so beautiful in the nature. Likewise, these colors of bangles are, which are silver and blue, right? Some are flushed like the birds that dream, and some are flushed. Now, some bangles are flushed color. Flushed here means the mixture of two colors, pink and light red is called flush. So some bangles are the mixture of two colors, right? The colors pink and light red. When these two colors are mixed, we get flush color, right? And some bangles are flush colored, right? Mixture of pink and light red. Like the birds that dream, and they look like just like the baby flower. Bud is a baby flower from where it blooms into a bigger flower, right? Like the bud that dream. So here once again we saw the poet has used simile, right? Because there is a word like, right? And the two things are compared. The bangles are compared with the buds of the flower, and like the bud of the flower looks beautiful, right? So the bangles look, which are flushed in color, which are pink and light red mixture of the color, right? So I hope you understood what is simile. I have already explained you. So these two lines are uh, the figure of speech used by the poetess Sarojini Naidu, right? On the tranquil brow of a woodland stream. So on the tranquil brow, tranquil here means peace and calm, where there is serenity, where there is silence, right? On the tranquil brow, brow refers to the top slope, right, of a woodland stream. Woodland refers to a small forest. So in the small forest, when there is a running river, stream is a small river that runs through the small forest, right? It is a picturesque. It is a picturesque. It looks so beautiful. The nature is here adorned with the beauty of that small river flowing through it, right? And just like, right, the in the silence atmosphere, you hear the gurgling of the water running through the forest, right? It is very pleasant to hear it. Likewise, these bangles are. Some are aglow with the bloom that cleaves to the limpid glory of newborn leaves. So some are aglow, and some bangles are aglow in color. Aglow means they are shining green, right? They are green in color and shining, lustrous, right? So some are green in color with the bloom that cleaves. With the bloom refers to shine. With the shine that divides, cleaves means divides, separates. To the limpid glory, that means like the transparent beauty of a newborn leaves, right? So when the uh, leaf gets birth, it is shiny, and it is this the leaf is very thin, it is skinny, right? And it is transparent, not opaque but transparent, right? Likewise these bangles are, right? So some bangles are green in color, which is very shiny, right, and divides the like the transparent beauty of the newborn leaves. Just like the baby leaves are, right, so are these bangles. So in the second stanza, the poetess told us about the beauty of the bangles, and these bangles are preferred by the maidens, the young unmarried girls. So what colors are they? The young unmarried girls, they like to wear silver, blue, plus, plus is the mixed color of pink and light red, and green, right? Light green in color. These are the color choices of the maidens. These are the color choices of the young unmarried girls, right? So this is the stage of a girl's or a woman's life in her life, right? Understand? So the first stanza told us about the bangles which are for the daughters and wives, right? So if the girl child is a small child, she has no color distinction, so she would prefer it to have the bangles as given by her mother in the color choice of the mother, what she brings for her. But when the very baby girl starts growing up and becomes young unmarried girl, right, she has her own preferences, she has her own likeness. Like you saw the color choices of the bangles that she would like to wear, right? Now let us move on to the third one, right? So third one, the third stanza says, some are like fields of sun-dried corn. Now some bangles are like fields of sun-dried corn, right? Now some bangles are of the field colors, right? That is brightened by the sunlight, that is brightened by the sun rays, right? And when the corn gets ripened, they become yellowish, they become golden, right? They are ripened, right? So some bangles are the ripened corn color. That means they are yellow color, they are golden color, right? So some bangles are golden in color, some bangles are yellow in color, right? As if the corn is now ripened, right? By the heat of the sun, by the rays of the sun. Meet for a bride on a bridal morn, and meet means suited or suitable. For whom? For a bride. Now the very young girl has now grown up to be a young lady. Now she is going to get married, right? She is going to become a bride, right? And the color choice of a bride is yellow or golden. When she gets married on her wedding day, right, she likes to wear the golden or yellow colored bangles. That is her preference. That is her color choice of the bangles. Meet for a bride on her bridal morn. Bridal morn means on her wedding day. In the early morning of her wedding day, on her marriage day, right? She has the wrist covered with bangles, and those colors are golden and yellow colored, right? Some like the flame of her marriage fire, and there are some bangles, right? There are some bangles like the flame. Now, what color is the flame? A flame is a mixture of red and orange, right? There's a flame is a mixture of red and orange color. So some bangles are a mixture of red and orange, just like the marriage fire, right? Now, what is this marriage fire? This fire is a fire that is regarded sanctimonious, that is regarded holy, that is regarded ceremonious, right? Around it, the bride and the bridegroom would take 7 circles, right, in order to make the marriage sanctimonious, right? So the marriage fire is of red and orange color. So some bangles are of, right, this flame color, right? So the would-be wife on her wedding day, right, she would like to wear the golden color bangles, she would like to wear yellow color bangles, and she also likes to wear, right, flame colored bangles, right? Flame colored means red and orange mixed, right, on her, right, marriage day, which means it is a symbol of passion and desire of that young lady who is getting married on the day, right? Or rich with the hue of her heart's desire. Hue means color, and she likes to wear the color of her choice because she is a very, very happy woman that day, right? Because her marriage is going to take place, right? She is on a wedding day. She has long waited right? So far with her dreams that she would have a family of her own, right? And her day has finally come. So she is with her heart's desire, she is with her heart's content, right? That she is getting married that day, right? Twinkling, luminous, tender and clear, like her brittle laughter and brittle tear, right? And the bangles tinkle as she walks. They are glass made of bangles. She has worn plenty around her wrist that almost reaches to her elbow, right? They are yellow colored, they are golden colored, they are flame colored, red and orange mixed, right? They tinkle as she walks happily on her marriage day, right? So it is the sound, this tinkling is the sound of the happily uh, married, right, bride's laughter, right? And it is luminous, it is shiny, it is lustrous, it's glittery, right? Tender and clear, and it is very soft because they are glass made. They are sensitive because they are glass made, and they are clear. Clear means they are transparent, right? You can see through, right, from one side to another because they are glass made. Yes or no? So this reminds her that she is now taking leave from her parental home. She is now getting married and is going to a new home, right? She is going to her husband's home, leaving her parental home, right? Like a bridal laughter and bridal tear. So in the morning, when she is prepared to get married, wearing her bridal attire, right, and seated next to her would-be husband, right? She is very happy. She is with the bridal laughter, right? And at the time of her separation from her parental home, when she is going away to her new home, there are tears, right? But they are happy tears because she is entering into a new life, right? So the third stanza told about the woman's life when she is getting married, when she has become a wife to somebody, right? So here the poet talks about the emotional feelings of a bride, right? Here the poet talks about the emotional feelings of a bride and a transition of her life. She is now going to change herself to become a wife to somebody, right? As long as she was in her parental home, she was young and unmarried. Now she has uh, um, become a bride. Now she is going to become a wife to somebody. So there is a transition of her life. There is a change in her life from present to next, right? So in the third stanza, you saw more colors of the bangles and the growing age of a woman in the Indian society, right? As the woman grows up in the Indian society, you see the color choices of the bangles do differ from her earlier age to the present age, right? Now let us move on to the last one to see the last stanza. Some are purple and gold flecked gray, right? In this stanza, the poet focuses on the life of a woman after she is married. Now she is already married. She is a wife to some man, right? Now how is her life and what color choices of the bangles she would like to wear? The poet talks in this. Now see, some are purple. Now when she has become a wife to somebody, now she likes to wear purple color bangles, right? And gold flecked gray, right? And she likes to wear gold flecked. Flecked means marked, designed with golden colors, right? And gray is a sign of maturity. Now she has become a matured woman because she has already become the wife of a man, right? Now she is matured enough to know her life and her family, a new family she has, right? Now in this stanza, right, the poet focuses on the life of a woman, right, after she is married, right? And after she gets married and becomes a wife to somebody, what is the color choice of the bangles? She likes to wear purple color, she likes to wear golden, right, uh, marked with gray color, right, in the bangles, because there is a sign of maturity in her. She has now become a grown-up woman, right? For she who has journeyed through midway, Now see, for she who has journeyed through, so now she has already covered the midpoint of her life, the half of her life, right? She has now become a wife to somebody, yes or no? And now she has already covered the half point of her life. Midway means the half point of her life. Half point of her life she has already lived. Now remaining half she is to live, right? Now when she has already covered the half point of her life, right? Now she has already become more responsible. She is matured, so she is more responsible, right? And she is with full of experience, and she is with full of wisdom. She is full of knowledge, right? Because she is now a grown-up lady, right? She is a wife to somebody and is maintaining the house where she has come to, right? Now she has journeyed through the half point of her life where she has become more responsible in her life, where she has lived with full of experiences and full of wisdom, whose hands have cherished, right? Now, whose hands have cherished? Cherished means nursed, taken care of, right? So, whose hands have cherished, whose love has blessed, blessed means blessed. Now, she is not only the lady in the house, she is a mother in the house, right? And her blessing counts a lot. Her blessings count a lot, right? Right? She has now become a mother whose hands have now nurtured, taken care of, right? The little ones and all, everybody in the house, everybody in the family, right? And she is a figure of the goddesses in the house, right? She is a figure of goddess in the house, and her blessing counts. Okay, and cradle fair sons on her faithful breast, and she has now, right, bore. She has now given birth to the beautiful sons. Now she has become a mother. From wife, she has become a mother, right? Now she has cradled, right, her sons. That means she has now given birth to, she has bore beautiful sons, right? On her faithful breast means on her mother's love and care, like every mother's, right? Every mother do take care of her son or daughter by giving her love and attention, care and attention. Likewise, she has now given care and attention to her children, right? Who are born to her, and serves her husband or serves her household in fruitful pride, and serves means supports, right? Now she is the main person, right, in the house who supports everybody, right? And serves her household in fruitful pride. Pride means proudly. Now she is a proud lady, right, to support every member in the house, everyone in the house. She is the person to take care of everyone in the house, right? And worships the gods at her husband's side. And she is the worshipper of her husband because her husband is Lord, her husband is a God to her. Now she looks after her husband and everyone of the family members in the house, right? So see, and worships the gods at her husband's side, right? So many prayers in Indian society require husband, wife to worship together sitting side by side. You might have noticed at your own home, right? Whenever there is any puja ceremonies, right? The father and mother do sit together when the ritual ceremony is going on, right? So this is the practice thing in the Indian society, what happens, right? And this is done for the welfare of the family, for the good of the family, right? And to get the desired result, what they are praying for, they also intend to get the desired result, right? Why the ceremony is being performed, right? Why the ritual is being performed, right? It is for the welfare of everyone in the house and at the same time to get the desired result, right? So it signifies her sitting next to her husband, right? Signifies her deep respect for the Indian tradition, right? Of the society, right? For the cultural, right? Tradition, for the culture, tradition of the Indian society, right? So this is what is seen here. Clear? So the wives or the women have always remained very much faithful to their husbands and their families. Right? So this is the life of a woman at the same time you saw in the poem. Right? So it not only talked about the bangles, which is discussed in the poem by the poet Sarojini Naidu. At the same time, we also saw the life stage of a woman, right? from her young, right, wood days to her adulthood time, right, when she has become a mother. So see, and as she grows up in her age, the color choices of the bangles also differ, right, with her. So this is about the poem, The Bangle Sellers. So hope you have understood the poem. It's a beautiful poem, right? The question answers to this will be given to you, right? So do copy in the similar way that you have done with the other poems, right? So stay fine and stay safe. Thank you very much.